guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we will have a little vlog about what happened at the barn. So it's been just over 3 weeks now that Hazel has been in a full training program, and she is doing really well on her training. Today is a cool day outside, and Hazel's a little bit distracted and a little fresh, so she didn't want to come to the gates. Apparently she came to the gate and went back out in her little corner there. As in the back of the arena she can see other horses, so she's just calling them and she just wants to stay in that zone. But Hazel always loves to work, so she doesn't have any trouble following me, as she knows exactly what's coming up. So today Hazel's pretty alert and very inquisitive. She wants to know everything about everything that's going outside. But anyhow, that's gonna be the day for today. So I'm just removing her fly veil here, and I've removed her blanket already. As I said in a previous video, I really don't like her wearing her blanket for much more time than needed, just because it's really dusty. She loves to roll outside, and so I'm always really happy to remove the blanket as soon as we step in the barn. So the first thing I do as soon as she is in is basically just clean up her hoops, just getting all the mud that's caked up in there. It's been a rainy fall so far, so a lot of rain and a lot of mud. So as you can see, pretty caked in there, really dark mud, but overall no rocks, nothing in there, just a lot of mud in there. So Hazel's being really good as always, and she's giving me all 4 hooves. As you can see here, it is pretty thick mud, and the shoe does help to keep the mud in, so that's why it's really important to kind of take the time to clean everything. As you can see, she has a nice healthy frog and just a flat sole. So with the farrier, we're working a little bit on her back end there, trying to kind of correct the positioning of the hoof, as well as removing the flat, like the fact that it's so flat in there. So we're just trying to create a nice curve if possible. So we're just working on a little bit of things here and there, and we'll see how she is doing. So of course, hoof cleaning is really important, so you have to do all 4s. As you can see, Hazel doesn't flinch a bit. She doesn't mind the whole process of getting all that mud and dirt off of her hoof. So the next step would usually be a lot of grooming and currying and brushing and all the stuff. But since we are a bit on a time crunch today, and Hazel is fairly clean, there's not really any dirt to report there, we're just proceeding with the boots, and I will tack her up soon after. We do have a chiropractic adjustment that's going to be coming up, so it's probably going to be in the next video for you guys to see. But yeah, and that's why we're a bit rushing here to put everything on. So as always, here I'm using the Professional Choice medical boots in the color raspberry here for Hazel. These are by far my favorite leg protection. They're flexible enough that they are protecting the leg but also going with the movement, and they also have extra help for the tendons and the overall structure of the leg, and so that's why I really like to use them. And they are also super easy to put on, contrary to like polo wraps or some other kind of boots. I just find them really easy to put on and very efficient when it comes to the tendon protection and support as well. As you can see on the 4th strap, it goes all the way around and up, and it just helps support the tendon here. in action while you're actually doing whatever activities that you want to do with your horse. So now that all 4 boots are successfully put in place, it's time to basically tack up. So I'm gonna be putting my saddle right on top of my saddle pad. As always, everything matches. It happened to be my jacket as well that's matching, but raspberry is definitely in my top 5 favorite colors, if not in the top 2, and so therefore I have lots of this color with me, would it be on my clothes or would it be on Hazel stuff. Definitely pink is way up there. So just putting the saddle here, making sure that the fit is good. So just putting the girth here, and this is a total saddle fit girth, the one with the little elastic triangle in the middle, which helps for your horse not to feel like too tight or strapped in. It worked really good with Hazel. Hazel, she really likes this girth, just because before with just a simple girth, the pressure was really uneven on the girth, and it was just creating a lot of friction on Hazel, and she had a lot of discomfort from it. So ever since I changed to that girth, I've never had any issues with her accepting and working with it. So as I'm putting the girth, slowly I'm putting the billet of the saddle right into the loop and into the little closing mechanism here, and I'm gonna do that twice just to get it settled on one side, and then I'll be moving on to the other side. So what I usually do at the beginning is I just attach the girth right to the billets and then go over and tighten it on the first side, and then I will go again on the other side to just make sure that it's tight, secure, and even. And then that we're ready to ride. I'm definitely putting the girth as tight as how I want to ride with her. I do not adjust my girth back in the arena. I just hop on and go. So once the girth is put in place, I'm just stretching here Hazel's legs, which are gonna kind of help to prevent the skin from being stuck right under the girth and creating some pain for Hazel. So that's why I'm just lifting both of the legs, making sure that the skin is basically really well placed underneath the girth, and then we can proceed with the bridle. Here's Hazel being really used to the drill of putting the bridle on, so she does tend to be distracted today as there's a lot of calling out there. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with the other horses, but it seems like it is up in the air today, and a lot of actions going on, so she's, you know, trying to listen and pay attention to everything at once. But otherwise, she's being a good girl. So we're putting the bridle on, and she is in a slow twist bit with the little needle on the side, and that really helps guide her head through. You will notice eventually when we're riding that Hazel does open her mouth quite a bit and try to avoid the pressure of the bit, and so there's a flash strap that will be soon shipped to me, so we can kind of fix that problem and help her keep her mouth closed, and hopefully help with the acceptance of the bit. So we will now be adding draw reins to the whole setup here. This has been suggested by my coach as well as the bit that she is into, just because she needs a lot of guidance when it comes to direction and also with the positioning of her head. And so the draw reins really help with that. but they are not recommended to every single rider. You really have to be experienced to use those draw reins in the right effective way. If not, you can cause more harm than anything. So please be careful and use the advice of a coach if ever you're intending of using them. Just because in the wrong hands they won't be a great tool for you guys. So here I am putting it outside in and then clipping it right under the girth here. And then what it's gonna do basically is when I'm riding, it's gonna encourage Hazel to lower her head and position her head in the right space for me, and then help eventually with the collection and just getting to work the right muscle at the right time. So just heading over to the arena, and yes, our basically our barn area or stall area is not attached to the riding area, and that's totally fine. So we're just taking a little walk, it's not that far, and we're just gonna head over into the arena. So here we are. I will be able to show you a little bit of what we did over the past 3 weeks in terms of work. So first of all, I have to get used to positioning the draw reins here, and that's why my horse is spinning a little bit. She is definitely a little bit impatient, and she wants me to get my reins together so we can get going. She loves working and she loves to be in the action every time, but sometimes she just asks to get her to stand still for 2 seconds so I can get my reins together. So as I was saying here earlier, today is a kind of cool, windy day, and Hazel's definitely feeling a little bit of fresh, so her head carriage is definitely really high right now, and that's something we're trying to avoid. So slowly I will try to get her to soften and lower her head. I am definitely getting used to those draw reins. For me, it's a lot of like reins to carry at once, especially because they're not carried the same as if you would use 2 sets of reins on a Pelham, for example, where you can cross them over. These guys have to stand to stay straight, so you can control the horse's head a little bit better. And so you will see they are a little bit flappy at times right underneath, and it's supposed to be a little bit more tense. But since I am on the horse, I cannot see the action of the draw reins and see if they are tight enough, if I'm holding them the right way and things like that. So that's why it took a little bit longer to get the proper head carriage, but you will see that more a little bit towards the end of it. So just to go a little bit over what we've done, my coach and I, over the past 3 weeks, is to basically get Hazel to first lower her head, and second of all, get a good rhythm. She used to be not really great with rhythm whatsoever, so especially when you were going to the trot, it was really rocky. We also had some issues with her attitude overall when it comes to work. She had the bad habit of just stopping whenever she wanted, pacing whenever she wanted, so we really worked on that and getting her proper in that, and just following the rider's directive. As you can see, her ears are going towards me a little bit more than it used to, and that's really great and to my advantage. That means she's paying attention to what I'm asking her. So you will see here, Hazel had a little spook at the door. I think there was a draft of wind that came or whatever. But the thing is, no matter what happens, it's just to keep her going, keep her forward, keep her going. And she did really great afterwards. It's just to get her to move forward and carry on with the plan. And we're doing just that, just training her to just pay attention to me, trust me, and just move forward. So you will see here, her head's like bumping up and down a little bit. I should have pulled my draw rein a little bit better and just put them together a little bit better, so it would help with the proper position of her head. As you can see, they're literally flapping here and there, which is not really useful in this case. But yeah, sometimes I just need this eye on the ground to kind of let me know that they are loose and then they need to be tightened. Just because with her size and her neck, I cannot see if the draw reins are properly tight, if they're pulled enough. so I do need that little bit of help from the ground, just to let me know, hey, pick up your reins, and that will help. So usually when I got them at the right tension level, it really helps to kind of lower her head. But slowly here, you can see she's already softening a little bit. Her head is a little bit lower than it used to be at the beginning, which is good, but it could be a little bit lower. So we're working on that here. I'm doing a lot of communication with my hands to try to get her to soften, but you will see her mouth opening quite a lot, as she is definitely trying to avoid that bit, which is not really useful in what we're trying to do. So I'm hoping this flash trap really helps. But right now we're just working on these kind of motions. So definitely the rhythm, definitely the head carriage, and paying attention to the rider are three things that she's been really learning about over the last 3 weeks. And I'm really happy with how she's coming along. As you can see, she's putting a lot of effort into moving forward, putting the right position, listening to what I'm asking her to do, and that seems to be really working. What we're gonna have to work on next is just to get her really supple and relaxed and taking the bit properly, and then we will be golden, so we'll be able to do other things like trotting poles or putting sets of poles on the ground and work on something else. But right now that's our main focus, and it's doing really great. Her trot has improved like significantly. Her walk as well has improved a lot as well. It's just to get that proper rhythm. This video is already coming to an end, so I hope you guys liked it. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video with all your friends if ever you liked it. We will definitely keep you guys updated on our progress with our lessons, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.